you put all this, into play, and yeah, like, the comics are really, really going, like, they were already carrying, but now, like, I'm telling you right now,
actually carrying, like, that is the franchise
straight up.
The crazy part about this too, like, because I'm sure that the writer's strike would involve this in some way, but like, we've been saying this for years, but I swear to God, like, I feel like the best way for them to course correct is just don't even do the fucking live action show. Just do the animated one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
Just do it, like,
because like you can't even have writers, because
yeah, it's like you can't. but I mean, but it's like, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is just like, while they take their time to figure out what they want to do with the live action show, that's the easiest thing for them to do is just use a story that's already written in the comics. Just adapt that shit to the like, just adapt it. Like, you barely even have to write that.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boys at Power Rangers Academia, back again, once again. Finally, we're all here. Finally, it's been too long. Now, we want to now talk about the strikes. How are these strikes going to potentially affect the future of Power Rangers? Well, right now, the future is we don't even know what the fucking future holds. So that is a terrible start, right? And I guess I'll just open up by saying that, because it's like, we have rumors, we have speculation, we have toy lines stopping, we have a head exec leaving, announcing his departure. So I mean, if we have no clue what's coming next, this is direct. Obviously, this hits Power Rangers hard, I would think. Mm-hmm. So Tech, I mean, go ahead. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, like, when you like I was saying before, like, when you put everything together, like, even if it was already kind of murky, like, what Hasbro wanted to do with Power Rangers, and like, obviously, like, we didn't know. I think the big thing, it seemed like for a long time, like, we're kind of like on standby for the anniversary so they could put out this movie, right? That's what it always seemed like the past like year or so. And like now, I don't know who even knows how far they even are, like, in the process with that. It doesn't seem like they're very far, because they're not, like, we don't know anything about casting. Obviously, they're not filming. So like, and now, like, we don't have writers. If they wanted to film, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. And like, I like looked into the whole like SAG-AFTRA strike too, and like, I don't know if you guys paid any attention to it, but the whole thing is, well, the main thing that they want is residuals in terms of streaming, because that's the big thing. Like you guys know, I come from like the whole music side of things, so like that was a big thing for Spotify, and like getting royalties for that. And like, like, something could be the number one show on Netflix and you're an actor in it, and you could get nothing because like, once your contract is over, like, you don't have to get anything. Like, now they want a piece of that. And like, with this whole thing with that, and then even stuff like Netflix being like, the bubble kind of popping on that, and like, I don't know if you guys have seen the whole thing with Netflix, like, the prices going up every like other year, and in terms of finances, like, how it's not looking too great for Netflix. But like, I'm saying all that just to say that it kind of seems like this strike is not gonna just come and go. It seems like this might last a while.
It will.
Yeah, like, it's and then like, the longer that takes means the longer it's gonna take for more Power Rangers stuff to come out. And like, I remember somebody saying that if they were still filming in New Zealand, it wouldn't have affected that. But now that they aren't anymore, it definitely affects Power Rangers directly.
Right?
Yeah, conveniently, right? So like, unless they try to move off, the US, but all their workers are obviously US for the most part, but I don't know, it's just not looking great. Hopefully we get some type of news soon. But yeah, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot to talk about, but it's definitely not the best situation right now, in my opinion.
I have a friend that's in the industry, right? And I'm gonna keep her anonymous for obvious reasons, right? So she works on the production side of things, so with camera work and all that stuff, mostly behind the scenes. And I was talking to her recently, probably about 2 weeks ago, just getting an update or whatever. And I saw she posted on Snapchat, so I want to see how she was doing. But it's not too good. The whole strike is affecting us. So there's no work for even like the production teams or anything because there's no scripts or anything. But this is not the first time that it happened. So she's been in the industry for about 4 years total, and this is the second one that she's going through. But right now, it's before it was solved a lot quicker. So the gigs that she gets rarely now are by like reality TV shows, ones that don't really need too much of a script. And a lot of companies, what they'll do is too, they'll subcontract. So these writers are subcontractors, so they don't work for like Netflix themselves, or they don't work for big networks like I don't know. I'm trying to think of another one. FX, for example, right? They don't work directly for them, so they hire these people. Now, a lot of things, also with the way technology is advancing, it makes them harder for them to actually be able to get jobs now too. When, let's just say, the strike is over, a lot of these broadcasters, right? These broadcasting companies, they'll just go to AI and get scripts already written for them instead of needing an actual like human, right? So advancements like that are coming also. And also one thing that she didn't bring up is, let's just say somebody is bringing up. There's a lot of we all watch TV shows, and we can all say every show has at least 1 or 2 bad seasons in it, or a bunch of filler, right? That doesn't make sense. Even in anime, right? We would see something like that, a lot of filler. So when they come back, that's what we're gonna see a lot of immediately is writers getting back in their groove, trying to stay creative. So we're probably gonna see bad, a bad product for a little while until things start to pick back up. So this writer's strike really is a big deal, and this is the side that people don't really think about. People's like, oh, okay, yeah, nobody's writing scripts, this and that, but you gotta think about it from both sides. Now the people that are used to doing things on the production side are doing this reality TV stuff. They have to wait for that contract to be over just for the other projects to start. So the strike is over, but that doesn't mean everything is gonna be good the next day. It's gonna be a while before we get new stuff.
It was like based on what I was like hearing about just like the whole situation, like even before the strike was a thing, you have to consider like the brand was still in a spot where I feel like Hasbro still doesn't exactly know what they want to do with it, right? Like they're keeping their eyes on stuff like Once and Always, stuff like Cosmic Fury, and then they're trying to see like how our fans are reacting, or how it's not even they're not even worried about the kids. I think they're just looking at the grown in like us, basically just seeing, okay, how are these like adult fans like that, the legacy fans looking at this shit, and how are we gonna keep those fans around while also rebooting this shit, and we've been hearing a lot about like what they have, their ideas. Like we talked about this in the previous episode, like they have like these ideas for the tone that they want to hit, and how it's going to be a little bit more adult, and a little bit, probably just closer to your standard Netflix show, as opposed to being a very obviously kid show, which is like, it's good, but it's one of those things where they're trying to gauge, like, is that fan base even there? Because when you have something like the 2017 movie, which I feel like was trying to breach outside of its regular fan base, there were people who were slow to come to it. I feel like generally speaking, it has like a positive, like, when it comes up, it has like a positive air around it, but you still kind of missed because it wasn't as recognizable. Like they missed with the suits, they missed with the Zords. There wasn't enough Rangers in the movie itself, which are definitely things against it. But it's like you have to factor that into how you approach the reboot. Because there's so many different factors that they're probably trying to consider before they even start casting and getting the script in order. And then the fact that this strike is happening just means that all that work is paused. right? And it's gonna make things. It's gonna take a while because like this, these strikes usually don't last that long, but this strike seems like it's gonna be one of the bad ones where we could be in the strike for a few months, right? But like Isaac said, like this is gonna set people back because all those people who are striking have to do other things to make money, to make ends meet. There's gonna be production delays, like for at this point, like I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't even hear about what is coming in the future of Power Rangers till the end of next year at the earliest. I feel like like if they do a Morphicon next year, like that's probably where we would,
which we're all going to, by the way.
That's the thing too. Like, but if they're on strike, they can't even go to cons.
Well, yeah, but I don't think I feel like if the strike is going on by the time we get to the next Morphicon, then it'd be like a legendarily long strike because usually these strikes, like, they last for a few months or so, but not like, it won't last a year, you know? So, but again, like who the hell knows what's going to happen? But like ultimately, like whatever ice this franchise is going to go on in one way or is going to just get extended by a few months. And, like Power Rangers as we know it is going to be essentially carried by the comics until further notice. And like the weird part about it is like, I feel like I can live with that for now just because the comics have been good and we don't know between now and then hopefully the only thing we can really hope is that it stays consistent. But like as far as the main TV like the TV show goes, like I feel like all these hopes and dreams about like the Cobra Kai cast getting rolled into is gonna just continue to dissipate because they're gonna get older, and then but the thing, I guess, when it comes to a reboot, they could just do whatever they want. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be teenagers with attitude.
If they get the cast of Cobra Kai, I don't care how old they get because they're perfect. Especially now, my man is Blue Beetle now, so that's only gonna bring way more folks over onto the Power Ranger side of things if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes to what Jonathan Entwistle and all of them want to do, like I feel like there's everybody has like a different idea of what Power Rangers is to them, and I think that like figuring out that balance is going to be the hardest part for them to figure before everything happens. And even without the strike happening, you can still use this time to say, hey, like what are we going for, what is our plan? And if we're not writing, we can like reassess things, and I think the part that makes that the most annoying is just that we haven't heard anything that they have had to say in a long time. So I feel like at this point it's probably just one of those things like you got to put it out of mind until they feel like talking about it, and that'll be after the strike finishes and gets resolved. But until then, just like it is what it is.
Yeah, it's officially that is like where it stands. You guys all y'all said some really amazing points, and it's scary. It is scary because we feel like we've been in a holding period for
Since
quite some time as it is. So now it's like you put all this into play, and the comics are really going, like they were already carrying, but now like I'm telling you right now,
actually carrying like that's it. That is the franchise
straight up.
The crazy part about this too, like, because I'm sure that the writer's strike would involve this in some way, but like we've been saying this for years, but I swear to God, like I feel like the best way for them to course correct is just don't even do the fucking live action show. Just do the animated one.
Yes, sir.
But that's the thing.
Just do it, like,
because like you can't even have writers, because
yeah, it's like you can't.
You can't
but I
even
mean,
have this cartoon.
but it's like, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is just like, while they take their time to figure out what they want to do with the live action show, that's the easiest thing for them to do is just use a story that's already written in the comics. Just adapt that shit to the like, you know, just adapt it. Like, you barely even have to write that.
You don't.
And then I guarantee you that they'll get Kyle Higgins' blessing or Ryan Parrott's blessing.
They just need to be there. Just hire them. Well, like, they don't need blessings. Just fucking give them that's their job.
Yes, because it's like, it was. Because I saw someone on Twitter make a point about the Voltron series, right? Because they're like, Voltron is a series that has had, you know, its own trials and tribulations in the West, and it had been out of favor, but then it came back on Netflix with a pretty successful show that like, you know, it had a fan base and it had people watching, and all they had to do was provide that. Now, granted, Voltron's always been animated, and I feel like the Voltron is for kids stigma isn't as strong as the Power Rangers is for kids stigma, right? But again, I feel like that's just because of how the brand was handled between 1993
Correct.
and now. But you know, if you prove people wrong, and just like, the comics is the best, like, if the comics is gonna carry us, then why not have that be like the opening salvo for how they're planning on changing it? Because if you really do want to keep Mighty Morphin in the fold while you're doing your reboot, the comic-based animated series is the way to go. That's the only logical thing. And you can do that, like, in great, you know, animation is hard, especially if you're gonna do it right. Because I don't want that shit to be like that. That animation better be clean.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
But at the same time, like,
best.
I just feel like that's the, you know, the story's already there.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
There was something else that I wanted to mention too. I forgot. Like, I did like some research before. It's like the whole history with SAG-AFTRA with the Power Rangers franchise and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, I should have started with that, but it's kind of funny because, like, you know, I talk about the Power Rangers Roku channel all the time. Like, it's kind of funny.
You love that shit.
Yeah, I do.
He been living on there recently, yeah.
But like, it's funny because, like, they just got, like, as this was going on, they just got to the point in Mighty Morphin when Jason, Trini, and Zach left the show, and like, I was watching these episodes, and like, it's so weird.
I'm like, yo, I think I was, dude.
Power
I think
Rangers,
I was.
Yeah, you know.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think like a year or two ago, I was maybe it was last year. I was watching it when it was getting uploaded to YouTube, and I was telling Uchi on the side like the same shit. I was like, yo, these episodes are fucking weird. But continue. You're like,
they showed Zach do the same face, like. And like,
my favorite thing with Zach is when he would have the twist one scene, but then he would have the fade the next.
Yup. That's crazy. Imagine,
no,
like,
remember Jason's voice, the voice, the when they replaced his voice.
Oh my god,
like,
those
he
are
sounds
so
very
bad.
distinctly different. The Zach one was the closest, but it was still off. But the Jason one is super obvious.
Come on, guys.
But yeah, so basically, like, that's the thing though. Like, Power Rangers, like, notoriously known for not having union actors, you know, and like, that was them stepping out was them, you know, trying to make a point to like get paid more, because I guess they're getting paid shit.
When the show was blowing up, like,
they left the show. Yeah, but like, that was like one of the, for a while it seemed like that was one of the main ones. And then I didn't even know this, but like, so apparently you guys know the special in Samurai with RPM.
Yep. There was a Clash of the Red Rangers on Netflix
Clash
only. Yep.
And like, I remember when that came out, I thought it was so weird because, you know, Eka, Scott, the Red Ranger, he was in it as a voice actor only. He never unmorphed. And I was like, why? This is so weird, right? And then I figured out the reason why, apparently, is because he wasn't SAG-AFTRA during Power Rangers, but once he left, you know, he got his own thing. He joined the union. So like he
Yes.
legally could not do Power Rangers because it's a non-union show. And so he had to only do a voice, and then apparently he couldn't even be credited by his own name. They had to make up a fake name to even have him in there.
It's bad enough that movie is like a quarter rip off of the actual film that comes from in Japan. The Go-Onger Shinkenger fucking team up. That film is great. And when you see that and then you see this, you will see how much they literally deleted. It's a shame. That shit
because
they
had to get rid of the rest of the team.
I mean, obviously, but I'm just saying. I'm making a point. Like, bro.
No, you're right. Yeah,
sheesh,
crazy.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Did you read about the Zordon stuff too?
I saw that. It was going all
David
over.
Yost posted.
He got paid $150 for literally he was only on set for one day and just kept reusing the same asset over and over and over again.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So
they didn't even use his voice the whole time. I think it was like they used him for the beginning, but they used his likeness for the vast majority of the series, the series until he got killed off. But he was paid $150 for that whole legendary thing.
Are you fucking
is a cheap
serious?
ass.
Like
listen.
David Yost made a tweet about it, and it was like, "Yo, this has been a problem since we were doing Power Rangers back in the day." And now he could have brought up the example with everybody else, but he brought up that one, which I think was cool, just because I think a lot of people publicly know about what happened with Jason Zactrini, but the David Fielding thing. I remember reading about it, but it's not talked about it.
it's $150 back in the 90s. I'm not sure if at the time that was the norm or if that was whatever. He accepted it. He knew that was only gonna be there for a day. He knew what was gonna be on there. Maybe he didn't think that the show was gonna be as big as it was. So he was like, whatever,
I think that's
take
what
it.
it was.
But he ain't take it. At the end of the
because-
day, you know, I'm pretty sure now, but at the same time, it takes for things like that to happen to make things better for the now.
Yeah.
Right. So
Because like originally, the show was only supposed to go up until the Cyclopsix fight, right? Like 20 something episodes. The show blowing up was a mistake, and none of the actors. No, but for real, but that's why there's problems, because like none of the actors were compensated for the blow up, because they were like, this is a starting job for me. This is an opportunity. I'm gonna do some stuff, meet some people, get some experience, and then move on. But then the show blows up. They become phenomenons. Can't go anywhere. Closing down streets. And nobody wants to pay them more, but they still do. But they're doing just the same, if not more.
Imagine accidentally becoming immortalized. Imagine.
That's literally what happened. And then that whole situation with the movie, it's like they wanted them all to go to New Zealand to film the movie, but they were still filming the show at the same time, which is why you got all those episodes in New Zealand. And everybody was like, "Yo, we can't be doing this if you're paying us the same amount." But we're working twice as much. Literally, we're shooting a movie and we're shooting a TV series that aren't connected.
That is disgusting.
But you're paying us scraps, essentially.
That man Simon was about his bag.
You know what?
right now, you know what's crazy too? They probably every actor in Forever Red probably made more in that one episode than their seasons, the whole entire seasons that they were in.
Dude, I don't
Straight
even know.
up.
For their sakes, I hope so.
Listen,
And it's like a lot of those actors just stayed on goodwill or like for the fans. Well, yeah,
that's crazy.
But it's like, because we all know that like JDF's whole thing was like he was doing it for the fandom, not for the pay.
Yeah.
Which but at the same time it sucks that just knowing their situation, and then it puts the whole series in perspective. Yeah. Like this series is kind of built on the back of that whole movement that is going on right now.
I guess the only silver lining is that they just recently started using union actors. I think the first one was Rory Devon in Beast Morphers.
Nice.
I think he was the first one. And
yeah, I know.
Zato. He's also union. So
nice.
Yeah.
If anything, that's cool. They're starting to finally get there.
It took us 30 years, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's. I mean, yeah, it's very shocking, honestly, to like hear that, and it makes me love and respect them way more, you know, because like when we were kids, that was like a part of our childhood heroes that we like looked up to and like wanted to be like, and you know, like that's crazy, especially knowing how like, especially for the original cast, you know, and then, you know, and even though like Jason, Zach, and Trini left, I mean, Jason came back in Zeo for a little bit, you know, like let's not forget that. But the fact of the matter is that when you look at Mighty Morphin from start to even all the way to that half of Turbo, right? They stuck around for years, and that's how they were mistreated. Okay, like I know Tech and I, we have said in conversation that like after watching the Toys That Made Us special, and the man I'm Saban himself, right, the guy that changed all of our lives, even though he was so brutally honest about how, yeah, I just wanted to make hella money, right? That's essentially the spark notes of what he said in that fucking episode. I am now officially at the point where I'm just like, you know what? I don't even care if he's brutally honest anymore, because that's fucked up. Yeah. Like that, it's officially fucked up. And this problem, it spans across not even just with Power Rangers, but just with any of these corporations and everything like that, where it's like everything is almost like like a pyramid scheme in a way. You know, everything is. It's like those at the top always want the most, and they are as successful as they are because they get away with shit like this, like paying them fucking scraps, barely paying them scraps. Like you never hear about no bonuses. You never hear, like, sure, they themselves could capitalize off of their popularity and shit by going to what, conventions, making appearances, shit like that. But it's like, bro, how much better would it have been if they were being treated properly and being like, yo, you guys are the imagine if they were treated right, bro. A part of me feels like we would have seen Tommy and them in Power Rangers for way longer. Yeah. And that's the crazy part, because like they were doing it for so long. They're like, you know what? We're literally going to pass the torch because it is time, you know, and we got some greatness out of it. You know, TJ, shout outs, you know, and then, you know, eventually we get Andros, and then, you know, the rest is history. But imagine what would that look like if the actors and all the powers that be were actually treated with the proper love and respect that they so rightfully deserve. And I'm hoping that going forward, this really does change in a more rewarding way for all of these folks that are being affected. Because listen, man, I don't know about y'all, but if I was even remotely close to being rich as I'm Saban, for example, I don't think I could even find it in me to be anywhere near that greedy, to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep all this plus money and not really show any sort of appreciation for it. Like, that's why I can't even be a businessman, because those at the top will literally be like, nope, don't get him, because he's too real, and he'll try to help everyone else, but we're trying to get our bonuses. That's not how this is gonna go, you know. Fun fact for those that are watching, this channel is now a YouTube partner, right? So what does that mean? We get chicken scraps too. From but you know what? The great part is that if we ever do get to a point where we're seeing actual income from this, they're all getting it too. I'm not just gonna hold on to it, because
dipping. I'm taking it and running.
Yeah, see, well, Isaac's gonna
starting my own channel. You already know.
Isaac's gonna leave. He's gonna leave.
13 whole cents.
He's gonna be the Jason, Zach, Trini, all in one character, and he's gonna dip And we're like, all right, well, all right.
We're gonna have his
they're gonna have to pay me to show up here again.
I'm about to.
We're gonna use B-roll, and Uchi will do the voice.
Isaac wearing the same fit 20 episodes in a row.
That should be crazy. And until he finally is replaced by like fucking Chris Matrix or some shit like that. Yeah, but nah, that's
funny.
That is crazy. But yeah, that's at this point we can as always we can only hope for the best and pray that the right things happen. So with all that in mind, folks, let us know what y'all thought. Leave your comments. Let us know your thoughts. Share your stories and whatnot. And also let us know, aside from what we plan on doing here on the channel for Boom Studios, because Boom is watching us, guys. Just wanted to put that out there. They are watching us, which means that naturally, listen, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready.
We're getting ready. Wait. Question.
Yeah,
so that you're holding right now, is that the one shot or is that the series? Because the series isn't out yet, right?
This is from the free comic book day.
Okay, yeah. I literally just read that this morning. Pretty good.
Oh, dope.
We'll talk about it later. It was better than I thought it was gonna be, but
good.
Yeah, I'm almost caught up. I have to read the one about the Draken's whole team.
I'm all caught up with the main stuff now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I have to read the shit that came out today. The Hyperforce John. And then I think that, but everything else I'm caught up on, like the main, like whatever the last issue was. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I read it. So
yeah, folks, like let us know, like what are you guys trying to hear us discuss, debate about? Hey, we'll do streams, even tier lists. Hey. Okay, we've done them before. We'll do them again.
We've kind of just been talking about news lately. It would be nice to kind of.
It has been a long time, and that's because Isaac's fault. Okay, because he wanted to do a tier list for everything, bro. Yeah. Everything. So I was like, all right,
the game one.
Huh?
No, the game one's the game one. I'm just letting y'all know. The game one is gonna be OD. I was just looking at my notes. I was literally the other day. Yeah. I got a whole page on every single game. I'm 23 pages in, bro. 23 pages. I'm dead ass. I'm 23 pages in.
Yo, we have a whole 2-parter coming up. Yo, the game tier list.
The game tier list is gonna be OD.
That's not. All right. You know what's crazy? I still have my notes too, but yeah. I need to finish them. Like I need to finish the rest of the games where I left off.
JD gotta start his.
Look, I'll just use YouTube. I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch some playthroughs.
Oh no. The whole point of this, listen. You weren't here when we started this whole thing with the video game. Yeah, you were watching us, right? This was yo.
Do it yourself.
JD is literally like the Adam of this group. He came in. He was watching, son. But no. Listen, for real shit though, like the whole point of this fucking thing, the tier list for the video games, is we all have to play all of them, so that we all have our own experience, knowledge, all that shit. Because it would be way too easy for us to just be like, okay, Tech, read all your notes. Yeah. What like, even though I trust his opinions, I still need my own shit. JD, you need your own shit. Isaac, you too.
There's a card
Isaac's
over
kinda
here.
Capping too.
There's a card over here. There's a card over here. I know which game I'm talking about.
Yay!
Wait, which one is that?
That's Lightspeed
That's the
Rescue.
DS Megaforce.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Megaforce. I thought you were thinking Lightspeed too, but I didn't get to those yet. I still want to get to those.
Listen, I have y'all.
I'm on Dino Thunder right now. I'm still stuck on Dino Thunder.
I think that's where I left off, actually. I think that's where
listen, we already spoiled a big Shogun. You already know.
Oh, man. Well, see, okay, that's a lot of stuff you guys get to look forward to. There's plenty of more content coming your way here on Power Rangers Academia. So make sure you're telling your friends, telling all your fans of, that like Power Rangers and everything like that. And keep the support coming. We do appreciate all the love and support. And we look forward to interacting with you guys very soon. So it's been your boys here at Power Rangers Academia. Make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing, taking care of yourselves. May the power protect you. Keep it locked little right here on Power Rangers Academia, and we'll see y'all next time.